So the Cincinnati Bengals are actually signing another player to the practice squad. This is now going to be the 15th player added to the practice squad, 15 out of 16. And that's going to be Demetric Felton, the ex-Cleveland Browns running back. So they actually just cut him, I think, yesterday. And after they cut him, yep, he went through waivers and nobody signed him. So now, as long as he passes his physical tomorrow, he will be another player on our practice squad. Which, I'll be honest with you, I'm heavily surprised nobody signed him. And I know it says right here, this is a great move by the Bengals. Shocked he was not claimed, because he is actually a pretty dang good asset as a running back and a receiving back for the Cleveland Browns. I'm surprised nobody looked at him and said, okay, you know what? He's young. He has a lot of potential. He has a lot of, like basic things that he's good at. I'm surprised. As it says right here, former running back Demetric Felton isn't on this list, but signing with the press squad tomorrow after taking his physical per sources. So if you guys did not see my video earlier, before we deep dive into who Demetric Felton is and why we're excited for this, here is the practice squad. We have Jackson Kirkland, Sidney Jones, Stanley Morgan, Dom Davis, Nate Gilliam, Michael Thomas, Cedric Jackson, Alan George, Will Greer, Tyler Murray, Kwame, Jeff Gunner, Tanner Hudson, and finally Shaka Hayward. So now that, of course, is 14 players, and now we can officially, well, as long as he passes the physical tomorrow, our 15th player is going to be none other than my man, Demetric Felton. So let's learn more about him. Who is he? Why is he important? Like, what is the takeaway here? So first off, Demetric Felton, let me pull him up real fast. Display, there we go. He is, of course, a running back, which we already learned. He was the 6th round pick in the 2021 NFL draft. He was drafted by the Cleveland Browns, and of course, he was drafted to be that, running back / receiving back. And that's exactly what he really was for the 2 seasons he was for the Browns. The first season, he was actually a wide receiver. In college, he played running back, so it's kind of like they try to convert him to receiver because he is a receiving back. And it actually worked out pretty okay. I mean, he had 21 targets, 18 receptions. I mean, that's not bad catch ratio-wise. 85.7% catch ratio. He also had 181 yards and 2 touchdowns. So overall, he's not that bad of a pure catching guy. But he is more or less a running back who can also be a pass catcher. So exactly what, kind of like Kareem Hunt, but a tad bit worse. I will say overall, Demetric Felton, there's a reason why he was cut. He isn't really the top end player. He's not the best. But again, he has potential. And he's 25 years old, so you never know what's going to happen with him. And if you develop him in the correct system, in the correct way, if you have injuries, it's not a bad idea to just promote him up to your active roster. So, in 2022, last season, the Browns made him running back yet again. And this time, he did have 8 games he played, which, of course, he started 2 of them. 4 targets on 2 receptions for 8 yards total. So, definitely a lot less, play time, obviously. Rushing-wise, he did have 7 attempts his rookie season with 24 yards, no touchdowns. And his second season, he had 1 rushing attempt for -4 yards. So, again, the Cleveland Browns never used this guy as like a starter in any way, really. He was kind of like a change of pace guy, if anything. He is pretty dang good at pass blocking. That's another thing that might be why the Bengals went ahead and picked him up. Well, it's because he's a good pass blocker. Again, he's a good receiving back. And again, he's a little bit of everything. So this is a nice little signing because, again, this gives us a little bit more depth in case something, does happen and we have to elevate this guy to the active roster. And again, keep in mind that this guy is not going to count against our salary cap in any way. This, of course, is a guy who is, he's a practice squad guy. So that means that he's on our practice squad. Anyone else can sign him if they wanted to and activate their 53-man roster. But if not, he's getting paid by us, but it's not against our cap. I think practice squad guys, I believe they make $750,000 a year, which averages around $11,000 a week. But also keep in mind, because I said that before, and then someone's like, that's actually good money. Yeah, but keep in mind, you can get cut at any time. You could literally get cut any day, and if you don't I think if you don't play the whole entire week or on this squad for a week, then you actually don't get the money. So you have to actually be there. It's like 24/7. You're practicing, well, not 24/7, but it's a lot of practice, a lot of keeping in football shape because they want you to make sure that you're healthy and ready to go if you ever need to be claimed. And also, just side note here, keep in mind a player can be claimed 3 times from the pup practice squad to the active roster throughout the season. So at any time, we could say, hey, listen, any of the guys on this list, or now, again, like I said, our new guy, well, as long as you pass the physical tomorrow, we can say anytime, hey, listen, we need you. You're on the active roster now. We could do that 3 times before that you can't do it anymore. So you could go from practice squad, active roster, back to practice squad 3 times. We actually did this last year during the playoffs with Jake Browning. We actually activated him to the roster. So again, like I said, it's very possible we do that with any of these guys, and maybe also Felton, depending on how good he does in the practice squad. So guys, we'll make the video just to break this down, but if you guys did enjoy this video, hit the like button down below. I'll see you guys next one. Peace.